Okay, so it is daytime again, and over the course of the night, which would have been very boring, I just kind of opened up our area here a little bit so we got a little more room for some chests when we start doing some more gathering and gathering materials to build our house. I also put in a door to the mine because those silverfish really creep me out. I know I'm such a weenie, it's terrible. And I did a little bit of more gathering. I did a little bit more mining, and I was able to actually find quite a lot of iron, which is unusual for me for mining. Usually I find more iron when I go into caves, but that we're a little early for going into caves. But you know, there's a couple things we really need to do today. I'm tired of not being able to sleep at night. We have to find some sheep. So this is how you make shears. Doesn't matter, where you put them really. Just as long as they're in this pattern here, you'll go ahead and put them here in this pattern. And then we're going to go ahead and go see if we can find some sheep. So tired of not being able to sleep at the night. So something else we're going to do is the seeds that I was gathering. We're going to also try to harvest a little bit of wheat. I'll show you how to make bread. And then I was able to get 12 more seeds while I was harvesting on the way home. And so we'll go ahead and we'll plant those today. So it is morning time. Creeper should be gone by now, but yesterday there was one waiting for me out here and I had to kill it. So I go running down the hill. Anybody back there? Nope. But there was the other day a creeper sitting right there. It was really quite rude. So we're going to go ahead and head back over to where we planted our wheat. Uh-oh. Do you hear that sound? That is an Enderman. Well, not the you know what that is. That's an Enderman. The is a zombie. So what I did to plant the wheat, and I'm sorry I didn't capture this on, I captured it on video, but I didn't get any sound to explain what I was doing. Basically what you want is, you want to place the wheat near water. So as you can see there, I have a bucket of water. The way you gather water is you go to a corner and you go to your bucket and you click in that corner and you'll be able to gather the water. Since we have this beautiful pool here, I don't think we need to place water anywhere for our wheat to grow. We have a fairly decent little flat area. We might need to, push this out a little bit to get some better area. But basically what you do is you select your hoe and you right click and it turns into tilled soil. Now the tilled soil will only stay tilled within 5 blocks of water. See, I can till that one. That one's 6 blocks out, but it won't be long before it will go back to being just dirt, and you can only plant your seeds in tilled soil. So you can see how the soil is turning dark. That means it's near enough to the water. Oh, and did you see that spot over there just turn back to dirt? That's what happens. And it's a real pain when you're harvesting because you have to plant the seed just as soon as you till it, and the wheat will grow, but it won't grow very fast. So to plant your wheat, what you have to do is get your square of tilled soil into your square and right click on the ground with the seeds. It's really easy. You just go along and happily plant seeds. And you can walk on this soil, but you can't run on it or else it'll make you go back into just dirt. I need a little bit of more room here to work. So that's our last seed. So we're going to have to wait until this ripens. It usually takes about 3 or 4 MineCraft days. Once this wheat field is ripened, we will have enough for 1, 2, 3, about 6 or 7 loaves of bread, which will be good. Okay. Now the next order of business is I'm hating the whole insomnia thing. We're going to go find some sheep. And one thing that I've learned in playing is that oftentimes where you see a gathering of one type of animal, there may be others nearby, and guess what? We have sheep. Now I could kill this sheep and I would get one piece of wool. But if you use shears, which is why I was waiting, and you right click, you end up with, one harvest. I got 3 pieces of wool. 3 is all oh, gracious. And he replenishes, he uses the grass to replenish his wool. So we're going to just go ahead and grab a couple more here. Thank you, Mr. Sheepy-Doo. And wow, this is just very productive sheep. So we're going to go ahead and grab a couple more because you never know when you might need more. Awesome, look at these sheep. This is great. Wow. 3 snips and I got 10 pieces of wool. This world is very generous with its sheepy-doo wool. Oh, and of course there's coal. We couldn't find any the other day. Sigh. Okay, so we have wool and we have naked sheep. Don't worry, it'll grow back. This is a PG rated movie or cartoon or whatever you're going to call it. Okay, now one thing I might show you before we head back to the our little hidey hole, and we will build a house eventually, is how to actually harvest the wheat. And I'll do this just because I want to be able to show you. I usually use a torch or my empty hand, and this wheat is not yet ripe. This clearly is not ripe. It has to be a nice golden color on all of it before it's really ripe. So you approach it, you look down, and you left click, and it will harvest the wheat. When you look, you'll see that with that one harvest of wheat, I got 2 seeds, and I actually had one of these sheaves of wheat. So I got 1 piece of wheat and 2 seeds. So once you have the seeds, go ahead and just keep your garden planted, and this will expand and get bigger. Every time you harvest the wheat, you should get more seeds than you have area there that's been tilled. So you'll be able to grow your food source, which is really good. One thing I didn't talk about was mushrooms. You can also eat mushrooms, but in order to eat mushrooms, you have to have a brown mushroom and a red mushroom. Now we have brown mushrooms in this cave right here by our little house, but I haven't seen any red mushrooms yet. What's over here? Something else we're almost out of, I think, is wood. So let's grab a little bit more wood while we're over here. Get all these vines out of the way. There's always vines. Of course, it is a jungle, so I'm not surprised. So I have my axe with me. Oh, you know what? That's probably not a good idea. Do you see the clock? It is time for these darn monsters to come out again. So we're going to head back, and I'll show you how to make a bed and a couple basics on how to use it. For a bed, you need 3 pieces of wood. Any kind of wood will do on the bottom, and 3 pieces of wool. Okay, and then you have a bed. Now you can place the bed by the wall, it's not a problem, but you do need to leave enough room for you to get out of the bed. You can't have the bed completely hemmed in, because if you leave the bed hemmed in, you will probably end up dying. So you place the bed 1 block, 2 blocks away from the wall, and you just right click, and there's a bed. And I think I right clicked twice because it grabbed me in my bed. So guess what? You see the clock spin around? We don't have to mess with the nighttime anymore. If we want to sleep through the night, we got stuff we're working on outside, we can just go ahead and do that now. Something else that the bed does is it resets your spawn. Now if I was to die, instead of respawning out in the boonies out there, I would